Good morning. Okay, I am back. I posted my vlog yesterday, the first one in a long time, and I'm already back recording my second vlog. So I don't mean to brag, but I basically have my life together in a huge way. Got a new tripod. You're on the new tripod. Anywho, I figured I would make a vlog about Colin's sleep because it's definitely the most asked about topic on my Instagram, and then I got one comment on my Welcome Back vlog that I did, or We're Back vlog that I did, asking to talk about sleep. So, these cute little postpartum hairs. So anyway, I thought I would talk about sleep, and what better time to talk about sleep than when Collins is sleeping independently. Well, she's actually not sleeping independently. Cooper's sleeping with her. So she's been asleep for about 20 minutes by herself. It'll probably, the morning nap, she's trying to drop from 2 naps to 1 nap currently, and it's awful. So the morning nap is currently shorter. So I bet you she'll be up in the next like 10 minutes, which I'm fine with, because if it's longer than 30 minutes, then she won't take her afternoon nap, which is usually about an hour, hour and a half. So, but I figured I'd get ready and talk to you guys about her sleep. Now, I'm gonna preface this by saying we chose not to sleep train, and that is apparently a big deal. I don't know. All, or not all, but a lot of people in the US of A like to push independence on babies, and as a new mom, I was made to feel like my only option was to sleep train, but it felt so wrong. I just couldn't bring myself to do it. Nothing against those people that do, but I couldn't bring myself to do it. It didn't feel right for me, and now that I know her temperament and her personality, I'm really glad that I chose not to, because I truly believe it would not have worked for her. She would have cried for hours, and I would not have left her crying for hours anyway. But I'm also gonna be doing my makeup. I didn't say that. Everything I'm using is True Aura. I know I talked to you guys about it a couple times, but it's the company that I work for now. It's all clean, microbiome friendly skincare and makeup. I already did my skincare routine, but I haven't done makeup yet. So I put our day lotion in my hand, and now I'm gonna do some liquid foundation to make like a tinted moisturizer situation. So yeah, we didn't sleep train. Very personal choice, but it's what we chose to do, and I don't regret it at all. I'm not gonna really go into any more sleep training stuff just because I don't feel like it's a good use of time. So what I'll say is we didn't do it. Y'all, the coverage of this stuff is phenomenal. Bamboozle. It's clean. I guess I'll start from the beginning. She has been a pretty awful sleeper from the jump. She slept in her bassinet next to my bed from when we brought her home until about 3 months, maybe? Yeah, I would say she was probably three and a half months. And then she was up so often, and she had the worst reflux in the entire world. And there were a couple of times when I put her in her bassinet and woke up to her choking on her spit up. So I was freaked out, needless to say. And I was breastfeeding. She had a tongue and a lip tie. Didn't know, well, kind of knew. The nurse told us when she was born and said the pediatrician will take a look at it. And our pediatrician said, oh, it's fine. It's mild. It's not going to affect her in any way. Spoiler alert, it did affect her in every way. But as a first-time mom, once again, you don't really know what you don't know. And I didn't know anything. She's over here like choking and stuff because of her tongue tie on my boobs. Awful reflux, gassy, just so many symptoms of a tie. Why can't I find my foundation? I'm over here saying, I don't know what's going on, going to the pediatrician saying, this can't be normal, this can't be normal. And she's like, oh, it's okay, she'll grow out of it. Which she did kind of grow out of the choking on milk, but she didn't grow out of choking. She still chokes on water. So anyway, bassinet from birth to like 3.5 months. I would have to hold her upright after I nursed for about 30 minutes so she wouldn't choke on her vomit. I would fall asleep with her on my chest frequently. Not a safe situation. She got to a point where it was like right before sleep got really bad. She randomly for a week started sleeping in 9-hour stretches. But it wasn't in the bassinet. At that point, we had moved her into bed with us on the Snuggle Me, which not safe. No, I know it's not safe. Take away the air quotes. But she was sleeping like 9 hours next to my head in the Snuggle Me, and it was the most amazing thing. And it happened for like a week. And then one day, poof, it was over. She was up every 10 to 30 minutes. 10 to 30 minutes. This was in the bassinet. This was next to me. Next to me, it was easier though because I was breastfeeding. So she would like wake up and stir and I would just stick my boob in her mouth and she would be fine. Needless to say, we started bed sharing full time because I could not sustain waking up every 20 minutes. I actually, when she was born, I did like the taking care of babies stuff, and I attribute a lot of my postpartum anxiety and anxiety to do with her sleep to taking care of babies. To each their own. If you have a baby with a temperament that is chill, probably worked for you and you probably love Kara. I do not have a baby with a chill temperament. I have a baby with a super highly sensitive temperament. So it didn't work and it just stressed me out so much more. I became obsessive with tracking her sleep. I like nap rage, sleep rage, felt like a failure because taking care of babies, because Kara told me that if she couldn't fall asleep independently, I was starting bad habits. And spoiler alert, some babies are not capable of putting themselves to sleep. And that's okay. It took a lot of learning what was normal for babies. It all comes down to temperament. I don't know how many times I can say that. I'm gonna tag some of my favorite sleep accounts. So if you're a mama with a high sensitive baby, or maybe you don't know it, but I'm describing your child, check out these Instagram accounts because they taught me so much about what actual biologically normal infant sleep looks like. Waking up every 2 hours is normal all the way through 1 year old. It's normal. Babies are supposed to wake up. Babies are supposed to want to be next to you. And our culture, just for some reason, is like obsessed with stopping that. In most places around the world, the cultural norm is to be close to your baby and respond to their cries. And anyway, I don't want this to turn into a lesson, but these are things that I've learned that have made me feel better and completely like changed my approach to Collins and her sleep. And at the end of the day, a lot of it has been developmental. She's almost 14 months now and she sleeps in 2 to 5 hour stretches, which is amazing. By herself on a floor bed, by herself. So bassinet up very frequently. Random week of sleeping 9 hour stretches. Chef's kiss, amazing. Then up every 10 to 20 minutes. That lasted from probably about 4 months to 10 months. 11 months even. A long time she was waking up, even bed sharing. And now I will tell you, waking up every hour or less is not, it can be normal if you have a really highly sensitive baby, but for most babies, it's not normal. Another thing that I learned from those sleep accounts that I was following. So Collins had lots of red flags. She was up like every 30 minutes to an hour, which is not normal. Even next to me, she should have been sleeping longer because she was in proximity to me, and she wasn't. Open mouth breathing, not normal. Occasional snoring, not normal. Choking on water, not normal. Super restless sleeper, always kicking her legs, not normal. All of these are red flags that led me to explore other things. So I always had a feeling her iron was low after doing my own research because, you know, I'm a doctor. So my pediatrician like would not check her iron until 9 months. So 9-month appointment came, she checked her iron. Wouldn't you know it, her iron was low. So we started her on an iron supplement. She was on an iron supplement for like 3 months until her 12-month appointment when we checked it, it was normal, so we stopped. I started to notice changes around 11 to 12 months. So could have been the iron? I don't know, because also around 11 and a half months, we got her tongue and lip tie released. Turns out her tongue was a grade 4 tie and her lip was her tongue was a grade 3 tie and her lip was a grade 4 tie. They were very, very big ties, which can affect sleep, which can affect eating, which can affect breathing, which can affect all of the things. So that was something else that I learned about. We got those revised. She still has a little bit of open mouth breathing, but she's breathing through her nose. Her mouth is still open. She's got to like learn to retrain her tongue because it was so restricted for so long. So yes, we did iron. We did tongue and lip tie release. All of these things could have contributed to her sleep. I bought Mother Baby Sleep's Back to Crib guide, which also could have helped because it involved like putting our bed on the floor and her crib next to our bed. So we all slept on the floor. I would nurse her to sleep on her mattress and then roll over to mine. We did that for like 2 weeks. So she got used to being on her own sleep space, but she was next to me and she was in our room and she was used to that. So did that for about 2 weeks. Then Collins and I moved into her room. I was on a twin mattress and she was on her crib mattress and got used to her room while being on her own sleep space, but had me next to her still. Then we moved her back into her crib. This was at 11.5 months-ish. 12 months. Then we moved her back into her crib, and I was on the twin mattress on the floor next to her crib. And one night she actually did a 7-hour stretch in her crib. She started making huge improvements, like 2 to 3 hour stretches in her crib, which is unheard of. She's only slept 5 minutes in her crib her whole entire life up until then. So lots of improvements. So I actually moved back into our room and left her at her crib, took 20 steps back. Could have been separation anxiety, could have been the fact that she knew I wasn't in the room. It could have been development. She was learning to walk at the time. All of these things contribute to a sleep regression or struggling to sleep. So I went back in her room on the twin, but the things in the crib, stretches in the crib, never got any better. But I noticed that when I was on the twin bed with her, she slept so good, like 5 to 6 hours. So at 13 months, I decided to jump in to a floor bed. I had read about it. I was super hesitant. I didn't want to do it, mostly because I was like, she must sleep in a crib. So anyway, I wanted her sleep to feel normal. I'm gonna link the floor bed that I got. She has a really cute bed frame. It's a full size, which is a lot bigger than I thought it was gonna be, but I didn't want a twin because I had slept with her on a twin and it was really squished. So I was like, oh, a full will be good. It's the size up. It's huge. But the update now is that, like last night, she did a 3-hour stretch. I nurse her to sleep still. I roll away. Takes about like 10-15 minutes once she's asleep, and she slept from 8 to 11. So 3 hours, which is amazing, by herself, independently on her floor bed. She doesn't cry anymore when she wakes up, which is huge for me because she would always in her crib wake up screaming, like terrified, hated it. She hated something about her crib. She wakes up and sits on her bed and says, mama, mama. She just calls for me because she knows I've responded to her every single time that she cries, and she knows that she's safe in her room. She feels safe in her bed. She loves her bed. And when she calls for me, I come. So she just sits up and says, mama. I go in, I nurse her back to sleep, and I roll away and leave her again. And it truly takes 5 minutes. And then she slept from, I think it was 11 all the way until 3:30. Amazing. Went in at 3:30, and at that point I just stay in her bed with her because she's in such a light sleep. She's kind of on and off nursing until the morning, which I really don't mind. I mean, I get big chunks of uninterrupted sleep, which is a huge improvement. And as she gets older developmentally, those stretches are just gonna lengthen. I know they will, because there is not a kid in the entire world who has never learned to sleep. One of the things that I hate that a lot of people and sleep consultants or sleep trainers and parents in our culture in the US is they say that sleep is a skill that you have to teach your baby. No one learns to sleep. It's just something that you do. You don't have to teach your baby to sleep. And I'm not saying this to like say, don't sleep train. It's not my job to tell any mom ever what to do, because I felt like I was told what to do when she was little, and it felt so wrong, and I was so sad and so anxious, and she was so sad, and I was not a good mom because I felt like I had to do something that I didn't want to do. You know best for your kid. Every single mom, your intuition is going to tell you what to do with your baby. I fully believe that. Sleep training might be something that works for you, because guess what? Your kid might be super chill, and your idea of sleep training might be, oh, I'm going to leave them in their crib and they're going to fuss for like 4 or 5 minutes and then they're going to go back to sleep. That might be you sleep training. And if that works for you, then fantastic. Guess what? That would never ever have happened with Collins, ever. In fact, I left her in her crib to fuss for at least 5 minutes. My point is, what's normal looks so different for every single child. You might not even have to sleep train because your children, your baby is so chill. I'm so jealous of those people. I have quite a few friends with unicorn babies. One of my friends just had a newborn, and she's precious, and she sends me videos of her and her bouncer just like, and falls asleep. She doesn't even have to touch her baby. It's wild. It is insane. And that just shows you the difference between babies. Like, do you not think I tried that with Collins? You don't think I just let her sit in her bouncer? You don't think I tried to put her in her sleep and have her fall asleep independently? You don't think I tried to put her in her crib? Oh, trust me, I did. I guarantee you I did the same thing as so many of you mamas who their baby just went in their crib and slept. Guess what? Collins never did. She has never fallen asleep independently. She is a baby who needs every single little bit of support. Sometimes I have to rock her and bounce and walk like a crazy person while she's nursing and stomp around the room. Sometimes she needs that much support to get to sleep. So if you don't have that baby, just consider yourself lucky and know that there are moms out there who have done exactly what you've done, but their baby will not sleep like your baby. Not because they're doing anything wrong. They're doing the same thing as you. But their baby is very different than yours. So that's my TED Talk. I feel like that was a really bad sleep update and I just kind of went on a rant, but let's talk about my face. God, it's been 40 minutes. I feel like I should wake her up. I know this is stupid, but listen, I've played around with it so many times. I know that if she sleeps a long time in the morning, she will not take her afternoon nap. And if she does not take her afternoon nap, she's gonna go to bed at 6 o'clock. And if she goes to bed at 6 o'clock, she wakes up at 5 o'clock. And then if she wakes up at 5 o'clock, I wake up at 5 o'clock. I do. So clearly my postpartum anxiety has gotten better, but I'm still anxious about her sleep. Hence that little thing there. So let me take you off this stand. Anywho, we're gonna go get my normal, oh, spoiler alert, I'm not wearing pants. Who would have thought I'd be here wishing she would wake up, guys? Alexa, off. Okay, anyway, that was like a really long-winded sleep update for you guys, and it wasn't super detailed, but I will tell you, I have a very, very detailed sleep update highlight saved on my Instagram that like goes through every single stage we've been through. And if you want some more detail, you can watch that. If you have more questions about the specific guide that I use from Mother Baby Sleep, which I attribute a lot of the changes to that guide. Like I said, I don't really know what changed it because we did quite a bit. Like we didn't change anything in terms of sleep training, but we did quite a bit in terms of supplementing iron and getting her iron levels right, releasing her tongue and lip tie so she's not as tense. The Mother Baby Sleep Back to Crib guide, getting her used to her own sleep space. And then also she's 13 months now. So it could be just developmental that these changes are happening and I just needed to be more patient. But at the time, like I said, society tells you that if your baby is not sleeping through the night, you are a failure and you suck. Which is just not true. So if you're feeling that way, don't feel that way. Maybe you have a highly sensitive baby, in which case I would highly suggest following Highly Sensitive Family on Instagram, as well as Hey Sleepy Baby. Hey Sleepy Baby has a temperament webinar that truly changed the way that I looked at Collins. Her needs are so different to any other babies because she is an orchid, or what's another name for him? Well, she's a barnacle baby, but that's not it. It's a highly sensitive spirited. So sometimes they call them spirited, orchid babies, highly sensitive. She has lots of sensory needs and her temperament is so sensitive. She needs a lot of support. She needs proximity. She likes big body play. So she actually doesn't need like a calming wind down bedtime. She actually benefits from big body play at night. So climbing over a bunch of pillows, bear hugs from mom, playing outside. Oh, another thing that I did was I did a consultation, an email consultation with Hey Sleepy Baby. It wasn't with Rachel. It was with one of the consultants that she hired, Real Kind Parent. That also could have been something that really helped. She kind of encouraged me to play with wake windows and make sure that Collins was getting enough daytime sleep, that she was getting enough of that sensory input that she needs, enough practice with her new skills walking, enough time outside. So a lot of the things that she suggested also could have helped. So we did try a lot of different things, even though none of it was sleep training. That's another thing to note. Like, it's not so black and white. Like, you don't let your kid scream in the crib or just let her be. I made so many changes that didn't require me to leave her to cry. You can do things that aren't sleep training in order to help your baby be more independent with sleep. You don't have to let them cry. And if you want to, then do it. I mean, I don't know anyone who wants to, but I guess I feel like it was my personal experience that I felt like I had to do something that I didn't want to do and that felt wrong, because I had a view of baby sleep that was very one-sided. I didn't understand what was normal because no one talks about what's normal except for very few baby accounts. Even my pediatrician told me, like, your baby should be sleeping the night by 4 months. She encouraged me to sleep train at 4 months, which is just absolutely ludicrous. It's insane. I don't have anything nice to say about that. We're currently looking for a new pediatrician. If you're watching this wondering like, dang, that pediatrician needs help. Yeah, I know, she does. There's a lot of things that were missed with Collins' health that would have been so much easier and fixed more quickly if we had a different pediatrician, but let's not get into that. So another thing, if you're listening to this and your baby is sounds similar to Collins and you need to do all the things to help your baby get to sleep, I would suggest joining Hey Sleepy Babies membership, because while I am friends with so many people who have different views on sleeping and sleep train their babies, and we're still friends, it's totally great, it makes a huge difference having someone to talk to who has a similar baby. Because if you have a highly sensitive baby like Colin's, it might feel like you're working harder than any other mom, because you are. You really are. And I don't mean to belittle anything else or another mom who has a different experience, but unless you have a highly sensitive baby like this, you don't understand what it's like, and you are working harder than other moms who don't have this kind of baby. All that to say, get some support. Find some friends, connect with people in the membership who have similar babies, so that you have someone to talk to about your experiences and validate. Because that was the biggest thing for me as a new mom. I didn't know that it was normal, or it can be normal, right? That your baby is up every hour to 2 hours and you need to do all these things to help get it to sleep. Basically, Collins has gone from waking up every 5 minutes in her crib, 20 minutes in bed with me, to sleeping 2 to 5 hour chunks independently in her own room, which is mind-blowing. Like, there were days where I would like cry uncontrollably to Steven about how my life was never gonna get back to normal, and I was never gonna be able to sit on the couch with him and watch TV and enjoy a glass of wine and unwind. You know, I was tied to the bed at 6 p.m. some nights, 7 p.m. most nights when she went to bed, because if I rolled away from her, she woke up the second that I left. Like, it was very, very hard. So just because I'm seeing all these changes now, you might not be in that phase. Things got a little bit better and then they got so much worse. Like, it's not linear at all.
Oh, hey Logan, I'm taking over your vlog because we're better at this, aren't we?
Show the vlog how you brush your teeth.
Hey, how do you brush your teeth? Can you brush your teeth? She's getting the hang of it. Nelly. Nelly. Where's baby?
We could have that water.
Baby. Say baby.
Bye-bye. Baby.
Night-night, Collins. Say night-night. Say bye-bye.
Water.
Say bye-bye. Can you wave hi? So it's time for lunch. Chickpea rice, corn, and strawberries, because mommy didn't want to do anything else, right? Is it yummy? Can you say Anyway, she slept an hour independently in her room by herself. Cooper, you say hi? Good job. So she slept an hour independently by herself in her room. I posted a Q&A, so I might finish recording later depending on what questions come up. We're gonna hang out for now. Actually, Kennedy, my sister, is home from college, so I think we're probably, you see KK? Can you say KK? Kaka. That's what she calls Kennedy. So we might get ready and go see her, maybe. I don't know. We'll see, but I will be sure to answer any questions that I get about sleep, and we'll catch you guys soon.